Yo, what's going on YouTube? I'm your boy Rory with Roar Sports Media, joined again with my co-host Jordan Weeg. Say what's up, man.
Hey, Roar Sports Media, how are you tonight? We are excited. We are in the off season. We are in Senior Bowl.
Oh,
Let's get
hell yeah, dude.
started.
I'm not
Yes.
gonna lie. I love the football season, but I really love the off season. Not necessarily the dead period, but right that sweet point between the Senior Bowl, the Combine, draft, dude. All the anticipation and hype, dude. I live for this. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love talking about it. And I
Oh,
think
I
we're gonna
mean,
have a pretty good
it's
show
so
today.
good. Yes, it's so good because I mean, even on top of that, even after you start kind of dying down, even during that dead period, that's when all the contract stuff is
Oh,
happening.
free
That's
agency
when
too.
players are moving. The free agency's there. We got a lot to talk about that as well. Already on the move, free agents going everywhere. It's crazy. Some big stuff's happening, but the Senior Bowl is what we're most excited about.
Yep. And dude, it was a pretty great Senior Bowl. Dude, it was pretty high flying. There's a lot of scoring, some
Yep.
good defensive plays made, and
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some really good prospects that we had towards the middle of the rounds in the draft push their way up, dude. And there was definitely some losers throughout the week. And we'll get into the talk, dude. But do you want to get into the quarterbacks first? I think that's
Yeah,
probably the
dude.
most.
Honestly, that's where everybody's looking right now. That's what's on the move right now in the NFL. Our quarterbacks. The people are on draft talks. People are trading their old quarterbacks. There are old quarterbacks that are going to be retiring. So yes, in this draft class, not only do we have our mini that we've talked about, which are going to probably be going in the top 10, we're
Mhm.
not even going to be talking about those guys. We're going to be talking about the guys who actually showed up to the Senior Bowl and showed up. So yeah.
Yeah, dude. Dude. By the way, Kyle Trask should have definitely came to the Senior Bowl because, dude, the last
Mhm.
thing he showed was him throwing 3 picks against Oklahoma, and this was a way he could have came back, talked to the coaches, got into a coaches type locker room, and showed
Mhm.
what he's capable of. Him not coming to the Senior Bowl really probably pushed him down, below the Mac Joneses and other quarterbacks that did
Yeah.
show up and put in the work and all that stuff. Like if anything, it just hurt his draft stock by not going to the Senior Bowl, even
Oh,
though
I
he was
couldn't.
invited.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I get the whole like, hey, it just takes one game, one play. I'm injured, but when you go out against Oklahoma, and as we've mentioned plenty of times before, it's not like Big 12 is known for stoppable defense and DBU, and
Right.
it's not like they're known for that. They've got some stars in the NFL now, but not like whole
Some, some,
teams.
some.
Some. So
Dude,
you throw 3 picks against Oklahoma, yeah, you should have shown up, and then maybe fake the hammy before the actual game.
well, even coming in and do the interviews, man. Like if you
Yeah.
and he accepted the invite to go to the Senior Bowl. Like unless his grandma was, in a hospital or something happened, like something like pretty drastic to keep him away from there. Which I didn't hear any news about it, so I don't know what his, what happened, the circumstances of him not showing up, but if it was just not wanting to participate, you hurt your draft stock because a lot of quarterbacks in the Senior Bowl showed out, namely Felipe Franks and Kellen Mond. Man, they absolutely
Yes.
killed it. Like they definitely helped their draft status a lot. Like
Yes.
people were talking about Felipe Franks and Kellen Mond going in like the 5th, 6th round, just
Nope.
because yeah, no, they're definitely a true blue between 3 and 5 now. Somewhere there, a QB needy team for like a backup or a project quarterback, dude. You're gonna get some pretty good gems in
Oh
this
yeah.
draft with those
Yeah.
two names.
Yeah, and especially when you think about again the retirees, maybe the QBs that may be more injury prone. I could definitely see maybe even QBs on the move, QBs
Mm-hmm.
with big pockets. There's just a lot of teams that could really use that, and then not to mention QBs that are going to be going on their way out. You're looking at Green Bay, you're looking at Tampa Bay, you're looking at New Orleans. They may be like, hey, we have these guys for another year to 3. and Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, we could get Kellen Mond. We could get Felipe Franks. See what they got. I know I say Aaron Rodgers, but I feel like even when he leaves Green Bay and goes to San Francisco, where we're betting he's probably headed, they're going to get somebody to back up him too. Because they have Justin Love.
I am 100%. I am a 100% believer that like Aaron Rodgers is probably going to San Francisco. Like I think it's just right there in the cards with all the drama happening, him being non-committal to Green Bay. Dude, there's a really good chance he's going to go to the 49ers. Because I know he was wanting to go to California. He was in the talks to go to the Rams, which, ended up being Stafford, another NFC North quarterback. But, dude, I think that, the Bay is calling, dude, because I believe like right now if they cut Jimmy G or if they get rid of him, it's only like $2 million for that cut. Like it's not anything crazy.
It's a cheap cut, and then Jimmy Garoppolo goes exactly where he always wanted to be, and with the coach who always wanted him, and that is back to the Patriots. Ooh. Sorry, Cam Newton. I think he's going to go back because there was a lot of talks that the Patriots actually, well, not the Patriots. Kraft wanted his, his baby child, his golden boy, Tom Brady, to stay with him forever. Bill Belichick didn't want that. They parted ways. Now, I don't think it was as crazy as it all started. Like, I hate you. I just think they mutually agreed to separate, and it was known for the last few years before Tom Brady or what is it? Tampa Bay went to the Super Bowl, which I could get something onto that it was going away. So you could even look at the Patriots looking at that, but Kellen Mond was the MVP. Felipe Franks threw the game-winning touchdown, and then Ian Book looked like every Notre Dame quarterback.
Not great.
Really
not great,
good,
dude.
Not great for the NFL. And, hey, shout out to my Hook'em Longhorns, baby. But Sam Ehlinger
looked pretty decent.
There you go. Ehlinger looked good.
Ehlinger looked pretty good. Honestly, his the stats aren't saying anything crazy when it comes to his stats, but honestly, he's two drop footballs away from having like around 90 to 100 yards. But he definitely showed mobility. He moved the pocket. He improvised, and I don't think he's going to be a great NFL quarterback, but I think that he's one of those projects you take with in the late rounds, like 4, 5, somewhere in there for development. And if anything, you can get yourself a pretty comparable player to Taysom Hill and the Saints, dude.
Oh, exactly. I mean, we saw it all pretty much his entire career. He would take it right up the middle. He would smash through smaller defenses. He's fast enough downhill. He could throw the ball. He could throw it pretty accurately. He's a strong quarterback. He's going to be a good quarterback as a good backup that could fit this game very Taysom Hill-like, a guy that's going to be able, oh man, my quarterback got dinged up. Well, let's take him out. Let's go see what Ehlinger's got. He'll change the game. Yep.
Yeah, I think he's decent. I'm not like super sold on Sam Ehlinger. Because you're right. He played in the Big 12. We know what those defenses are like. He has crazy stats, but so does every other Big 12 quarterback. I think, like I said, he's right up there with Felipe, Sam Ehlinger, Kellen Mond. I think he's going to be taken within those rounds between like 3 and 5-ish, I think. But they definitely help themselves out, dude, because like I said again, Kyle Trask should have showed up, and that's him. He's the biggest Senior Bowl loser to me because him not showing there hurt his draft stock so much. But let's move on to running backs, dude. And there were some pretty crazy ones, dude. Just this week alone, Najee Harris and I think Michael Carter for me were definitely some big showouts. I mean, we all knew that Najee Carter was probably going to go in the if not the late first round, within the second round. He's not getting past that.
Oh, of course. I mean, because a lot of teams look at running backs.
Mhm.
They're not a 10-year running back anymore. They're
Nope.
3 to 5. They're like, all right, cool, we got you for your best years, which
Yep.
I think
You
is a
cost too
tragedy
much.
because I don't think you should do that to any player. But at the end of the day, running backs really do take some can last forever. Most though, really
Frank
after
Gore.
5-6 years, decline. Adrian
Yeah.
Peterson. There are some capable running backs that can last 10 years, but
I
it's
mean,
just not
yeah.
that anymore.
It's one to be honest, man. It's the position's so devalued. Like everyone's because the NFL is a space game now. It's not just line them up and hit that hole. It's not just that it's a space game. So, and then that's right. I mean, like every quarterback, every running back, every running back has similar qualities. Now you're not gonna get a Barkley. Um, every in the third or fourth round, but dude, you can get yourself a really nice Aaron Jones, or someone that's a doable back that can get it done at a lower cost.
Oh, of course. And then I mean, with the way a lot of NFL teams go, they want to find two capable running backs. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they want to find your guy that's going to be your star, and then they're going to want to find your guy that can just change the dynamics. Now,
Yeah, change the
whether
pace back.
that's whether that's a speedy back or whether that's what the Rams have been doing, and then just getting that guy that's just going to go slam a rock 3, 4, 5 yards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what teams want to do. They want to roll with what 2, 3 backs every week.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
Yeah, the days of a workhorse is not there. I think there are very few of those in the NFL right now. Like Joe Mixon and Ezekiel Elliott are pretty much the ones that come to the top of my head for me, just because we're Cowboys and Bengals fans.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's not a whole lot of just straight up workhorses in the NFL anymore. Like whereas back in the '90s, you had to have one. You had to have yourself a back. You had to in order to run those offenses. Like I said, it's a space game now, so you can really have wide receivers. A lot of times are rushing the ball through jet sweeps and stuff, or they nifty ways of getting a tight end, like how Travis Kelce would get those like little inside dings up up the middle. It's pretty much a power play, but it's a tight end running it. So
Exactly.
I mean, it's the NFL is changing. So I mean, but yet again, dude, the running backs here are phenomenal. Another guy that I have my eye on is Larry Roundtree. Didn't have a great Senior Bowl day, but I think that's more on the offensive line not helping him out because he was absolutely crazy when I watched him in the game against Arkansas. And, Arkansas wasn't, a bad defense, but this guy ate them up.
Oh, of course. And that kind of just jumps to my kind of what you just said right there. Offensive line did not have a strong showcase, and
no, dude. There's a lot.
Everybody across the board, even us, have been talking about how good this offensive line class is. These tackles, these guards, these centers, and like the defense.
Yeah.
The defense on the D line came and showed up, and the linebackers came and showed up, and it's just yeah.
Yeah, but dude, I think probably the craziest group this year in the Senior Bowl was definitely the receivers, man. There are so many good receivers in the Senior Bowl. And for me, personally, I think Amari Rodgers out of Clemson was probably my favorite to watch, dude, because this dude is insane. And like most people had him going in like the 4th to 5th round, dude, but I think he just made a case for himself to go like at least the second, at least.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we've started to kind of see. We started seeing a trend on these wide receivers that they're ready to go. And last year, the 3 years before that, like just so many back-to-back years, these wide receivers are coming in the NFL and they're just ready to play. And I mean, like, of course, we didn't fully see every wide receiver. I mean, some were dinged up, some didn't practice, some of their agents talked to them. But the ones we did see, I mean, that's what makes senior day so important. That's your last showcase especially they're coming off a bad season, especially with a year like this. If you didn't play a lot of games, this is your like last chance to really, get there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just receiver wise, dude, it looks like Dez Fitzpatrick out of Louisville also had
Mhm.
himself a pretty good game.
Yep.
Let's see. Yaboa was actually the game winning touchdown, which dude, he took a pretty hard hit and got in the end zone. So
Mhm.
love seeing that hard. Amari Rogers, 4 receptions, 23 yards, dude. But in the red zone, he was killing it, man.
Mhm.
Absolutely murdering. What else? Demetric Felton, dude, out of UCLA, I think it
Yep.
was. Bro, he was also a really, really there. He was a really good player throughout the week. PFF loved him.
He runs almost 20 miles an hour. If you just want to know how fast Felton is,
Yeah,
just
pretty good, pretty good. And
pretty
that's on the
fast.
football field making cuts and stuff like that too. So that's not
Yes.
just straight line speed.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Dude, if you want wide receivers, you can get them well into the second, third rounds. Just because you can get a first round wide receiver. I mean, if they're worth it, sure. But if I'm an NFL GM and I'm seeing this sheer amount of talent that's going to be in this draft of wide receiver, I'm just like, ooh, man, do I have any more needs?
I
Like,
mean, we've really talked about it plenty of times, and I think it's pretty obvious. There's 3 wide receivers that really we know need to go in the first round,
yeah,
and I mean, we've already talked about Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase.
yeah.
Anybody else right there, you can kind of filter in, filter out, and it's really
I
just
think
what
that
you need for
Purdue
your team.
kid too. I think it
Mhm.
was too was also in the talks.
Mhm.
So the big board, yeah, but yeah, there are three wide receivers in this class that that are first rounders that are those guys, those true number ones. But if you're just looking for a gadget guy or a slot or a 3 or a 4, dude, like you have them for days throughout, and you have like 3 or 4s that could possibly be 2s one day in those rounds.
Maybe even once, for all we know.
For all
Like
we know, yeah, Darius Slayton and the Giants, man. You don't want him to be your number one, but he's
he
serviceable.
is. He is. He's a serviceable number one. And Will Fuller, when he Fuller, Will Fuller can't even say his name.
That's
When
right. Only quality content here
when
on the
he's
board.
eating his mini Wheaties and not getting hurt,
Throw me the
he's a
ball.
capable number one too, y'all.
Throw me the ball, Sean. Yeah,
Oh, God,
not one healthy year ever. This year, time for a contract. I'm gonna drink some
Oh, man.
heads.
I'm sorry, everybody. I keep bringing that up. It's just always so humorous for me. I think this is the third video I've brought up the Will Fuller mini Wheaties incident.
There's mini weeds. Yeah. So defense wise, some
Take
stops.
your pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Davis had a pick out of, but that was off a tip ball. That wasn't him just making a fantastic play. He was just there. But he was against Amari Rogers a lot and got smoked.
I was just watching Amari Rogers in one-on-ones, man.
Killing it, dude.
And
killing it, bro.
People just didn't look like they knew what to do against him. Like it was just like
yeah, DeMar Hamlin also had a pick for the national team. Let's see. Demetric Felton had a punt return for 10 yards. Defense. Yeah, I mean, Patrick out of Pitt was also pretty cool. Like you said, he didn't have a great week of practice. He got beat an awful lot, but in the game, I believe he had himself a sack. Let me make sure that's true. Yeah, but it was I mean, it was a good Senior Bowl. Definitely for the offensive side. Definitely. I think that a lot of players helped themselves out, in it. Definitely, namely the quarterbacks and the receivers.
Yeah, and I just remember reading an article. One of the big topics were, I guess there were just 4 Ohio Buckeyes that like just stood out in all the Senior Bowls.
Yeah,
They were
Cooper.
all defensive players, and it was the let me see, linebackers, Tough Borland, Baron Browning, Jonathan Cooper, and Justin Hillard.
Yeah, Jonathan Cooper had a pretty good day.
Yeah. Yeah. So take your pick if you need a linebacker from those 3 and defensive ends. So go Ohio. Exactly.
Go Ohio. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's pretty much it from the Senior Bowl. I think we covered most everything on it. Definitely, like I said, my biggest loser is Kyle Trask. Just
Biggest
show
winner,
up.
Mac Jones, man. I think Mac Jones pushed himself above Kyle Trask.
Oh yeah. I think he's a solid QB number 5 or 6 right now.
Yep.
Depending on how teams view Trey Lance, which he is a super duper gifted player. I'm not sure if the fundamentals are there, but definitely a very moldable player. So I mean, if a team like the 49ers do get Aaron Rodgers, man, it would be hard not to try and get Trey Lance to sit behind that and learn.
Aaron Rodgers would love that predicament, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just got to San Francisco. We're gonna draft Trey Lance, your replacement. Oh, yay!
I mean, how old is Aaron? Aaron's like what, 37, 38?
38. Won't play till he's 45.
Dude, honestly, man, he didn't look like he wanted to be in that championship game. Like we were saying, bro, he looked apathetic at best.
37.
Yeah, he's 37 right now. And he said he can see the 18th hole. Like, man, if you said that out loud, man, you're the one that put it in the ether. We're gonna draft a quarterback if we need a quarterback. Like, no. All right. Yeah, dude. So talking about quarterback moving, like you want to get on to block 2?
Block 2 is fine, man. I'm ready for it because I think everybody's interested in the big one right now.
Yeah, dude.
It's Matt Stafford, man.
Matt Stafford, dude.
Matt Stafford.
What? Like, dude, I don't think anyone saw that coming. I mean,
I didn't think anybody expected that much of a draft capital. Like,
yeah, dude. The Lions are sitting pretty, man. They have a top 10 pick. There's 8 quarterbacks in the draft that you could possibly take that would be serviceable, and especially in the top 10, dude. Who do you want besides possibly Justin Fields? Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. Because you trade Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, dude. I mean, who are you gonna take? But the Lions are set up super pretty. But then also, the Rams have been to the playoffs multiple times over the past couple years and no Super Bowl and haven't had a first-round pick since Jared Goff. So maybe they know what they're doing. Maybe they know that they they're one quarterback away.
Well, I mean, again, we've all known Matt Stafford's career got wasted in Detroit, like so many careers do. And he's finally going to go to a team where he has a good offensive line. He's got receivers. He's got just an unstoppable defense sometimes. Yeah. And Aaron Donald leading the way.
You have Aaron Donald.
I mean, as a Rams organization, what you're getting now, you're getting a 3rd-round pick, you're getting a 1st-round pick, and then I believe you've got yours as well. So you've got 2 first-round picks, right? This draft coming up?
No.
How's that set up?
So the Lions get Jared Goff and a 3rd-round pick this year, and then over the next 2 years, their 1st-round pick. So in 2022 and 2023, they got those picks, or is it 23 and 24?
I think it was. Let me see.
No, it's 22 and 23. I think
22 and 23. My fault, guys. Either way, the Rams still have a really built team. We've talked about wide receivers. Maybe they could go get a hot shot wide receiver. Especially with Cooper Kupp and Cooper Kupp always being injured. Maybe you go get Woods. Kind of being an injury-prone guy, too. You may meet a young speedster. Maybe go get a running back. I think
I think
I don't know what
they drafted Cam Akers out of
Cam Akers.
out of Florida State last year, who turned out to be pretty good.
Pretty good. He started coming on in the end of the year, right?
Yeah, he started coming on towards the end of the year.
Okay.
Started to adjust to the NFL speed, which you saw the talent was there in Florida State. It's just that, dude, the teams were so bad. Those teams were just horrible. So I mean, honestly, he was actually a really, really good player coming out of there. It's just he didn't get a whole lot of shine because of Florida State being on the down end of their, college experience at the moment. So I mean, Cam Akers coming out of there, he's a pretty good back.
Either way, the Rams want to win now. That's plain and simple. They want to win. They want to. They know contracts are coming due here, and a lot of players are going to be wanting to get signed. They're going to want to go somewhere else, and it's not just Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, but we're talking about the Rams as a whole. They spent a lot of money. They expected Jared Goff to lead them to the promised land, and I mean, he just hasn't looked that great. And
he's always looked like the moment's too big for him, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does.
When he's not being carried by his team, it's just kind of like, Jared, dude, like, come on now.
It says a lot when your backup QB goes out, gets knocked out, then you come in and you're injured, and then you go win a football game, It's just like, so you really actually just could have started the whole game, and this guy wouldn't be sent to the hospital for a head and neck injury. So,
yeah, I mean, but it's football.
Job,
it's football. It could happen to anyone at any time.
Anytime.
But yes, it wasn't an injury. They just didn't believe in him. They just wanted to put the brakes to him. Pretty much.
And I hate the love that a lot of announcers have for him. But he was like, he just played a perfect game. I was like, dude, he threw 170 yards and no touchdowns, and Akers ran all over him.
Come on now.
Why do y'all love this so much?
It's because they're babying the franchise. The LA is a huge market, so they're gonna be like, oh wow, how great! Look at all that money. Yeah, that's how it goes, dude. I think after this week, we all see that billionaires just love protecting their investments. So,
Oh, my bad. Let me stop you right there and let's get back to the game. Anyway.
Yeah. LA moved on. I think that Matt Stafford is going to be a great addition. I've always loved Matt Stafford's talent. I just never loved his teams, if that makes sense. Yes. Has he always performed the best? No. But he was never with Sean McVay, right? The boy genius himself. Yes. The guy that can make miracles, year two Super Bowls, And
now he's getting a guy that has the talent,
right,
has the arm, has the experience, and has a know of the game. He knows the game. He's one of the smartest quarterbacks in the game.
Right. They can make every throw.
To that system. Oh, man, Rams. So my question is, did Rams do what the Buccaneers just did this past season?
Yes, but they clearly had to pay more. Yeah, they had to.
Yeah,
because they saw what the Buccaneers just did with Tom Brady. Like, man, we just got to the Super Bowl, and the reason why we lost was because Jared Goff couldn't throw a touchdown.
One touchdown.
Couldn't throw one touchdown.
With all our speedy wide receivers.
Yeah, the boy genius at the helm too.
With the boy genius, and then
Todd Gurley. Todd
Gurley. Thank you. Todd
Gurley was on his last little
but it was still Malcolm Brown was coming off this killer postseason.
Yeah.
That's who it was. It was Malcolm Brown, because I remember, because we were like, yay, we're the Dallas Cowboys. We're going, we're chugging, and then Malcolm Brown, guy who's a backup, just murdered us. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that, y'all.
That's for later talk.
That's for later.
Yeah, but it's going to be pretty interesting, dude. And I think that we all pretty much get it. We're beating a dead horse at this point. Matt Stafford is going to ram. Rams gave the Lions a king's ransom for Matt Stafford. Maybe a little bit too much, but as far as I know, other teams were in that boat too. So the
If you
Rams
get
did
to
what they
the
needed to get
Super
their guy.
Bowl, you win to the Super Bowl. The King's ransom is worth it.
Yeah, if
If
you
you
want a Super Bowl
can't
that
win in
badly.
the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl this next season with Matt Stafford, you lost.
Yeah.
You lost.
Yeah.
It's no bar
But
right there.
the Lions have all they need to rebuild now. By
They
the way,
won't.
the Lions head coach, we're gonna bite their knees. They're gonna knock us down. We're gonna bite both their knees now. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Bro, by the way, we're gonna save it for the NFC East talk, but the Eagles head coach, we gotta talk about that. I don't
The
know if
guy
you
who
saw that.
doesn't know how to wear his mask right.
Well, not even just the mask, right? Did you hear him talk? No. Let's wait till we get to that. But
I've never
dude,
heard that guy talk before.
yeah,
But
dude,
I think there was there's a fun fact about him being an offensive guru, but it was like I will get there. I know there's something pretty funny about him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. But on other QB related news, bro, Deshaun Watson, he is the winner of this move. Like, he is the absolute winner of Matthew Stafford going to the Rams because his value just went to the moon. And we're talking about stonk terms. He's to the moon. Like, it's gonna take probably 3 first rounders or 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and a player, man, in order to get Deshaun Watson to come to your team.
Oh my gosh. It's just and that's, man, I'm glad we touched on this.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like, I get it. He's went to the playoffs a few times.
Yeah.
He's been injured twice since he's been in the NFL, twice, or maybe I know one was
one
a really big injury, one was a
ding-up. One was an ACL and the other one was like being dinged up for a couple of games,
yeah,
I believe.
Being dinged up. It's just, man, the teams that could deal with him, do you really think they're going to be able to give him the team he needs for that amount? Plus, you're also missing one thing: his contract. They're going to have with that contract on him too.
Yeah,
so
dude.
You're giving possibly 3 first-round picks, a player, and a third or a fourth. And then
you're getting that contract on your books.
A $40 million contract. And it's just like, what team can afford that? And then how do you keep all your other players happy, especially with the fact that this projected season, next season, the cap is going to be lower?
Yeah.
So it's like, is it even worth it? I say let him sit. Honestly, it's just like, dude, you're too much.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what the Texans head coach, the new head coach, I think McCulley. By the way, who saw that fucking coming? Yeah, dude. We're gonna talk to the Texans guy next week. But he was like, dude, the Texans guys have something to say about that. It was like all these coaches, and who the hell is this guy? Some guy from the Ravens. Which I get it. The Ravens are a good organization, but dude, this guy has never even been talked about before. This McCulley guy. But yes. So I think we're gonna get into it a little bit later, but there are very few teams I think that could give what Deshaun Watson, what the Texans are gonna ask for. But dude, like, what does Deshaun do if he doesn't want to play for the Texans next year? He doesn't like this head coach. He doesn't like this organization. He's trying to get out, bro. Do you just? I mean, they could just find him. I think it was like $500,000 a day in camp that they could find him until he shows up. So,
well, it's not like he doesn't have the money.
Yeah,
but yeah, they'll take a good chunk
for as long as he doesn't show up. So I think he might just show up and just sit on the bench.
I showed up. Man, my hammy. That old ACL.
I got the COVID. I need to go quarantine for 2 weeks.
Gosh, I mean, it's just, that is too much for me. Especially, I get it if he won a Super Bowl and he wants to leave the Texans. Okay, cool. Give him the King's ransom. But this is what you get from not Matt Stafford, my apologies, Patrick Mahomes. To me, this is what you pay for Patrick Mahomes.
Dude, Pat Mahomes.
This is what you get.
You're probably paying at least 5 first-round picks. If Pat Mahomes, if he's on the table, you're paying about 5 first rounders.
Which he wouldn't be, but still. Deshaun Watson, I think he has even a lesser value than Matt Stafford does. Like, I mean, and the reason why is because with him, you sometimes get shaky QB play. You'll get an injury prone. You don't have the experience. You don't know what he's like in a locker room. Matt Stafford, you know what you get. You
Yeah.
get a chance to go to a Super Bowl. You've seen it. We've all seen it. Before Patrick Mahomes did the no-look pass, Matt Stafford did the no-look pass. Like,
yeah. He was doing it. He's I think with Deshaun, I think he's definitely so if I'm really ranking, Deshaun Watson's definitely probably a top 15, top 12 quarterback in the league.
Of course.
Right now.
Yes.
But
you don't.
What are you willing to give for that? It's got to be a team that's within striking distance. It's not one of those teams like the Jets. It's not a team like, let's just say, I don't know, the Titans. Or not Titans, the Texans. Clearly, he's on the Texans, but it's not a team that's going to help him. They're not within.
What? So you're looking at maybe the Redskins. Possibly
Redskins.
The Patriots have 57 million. They drop a few guys. They get maybe 75 from their defense. I think they could be offloading Gallimore this year. So there's a lot of talk. So I think really the two
Gilmore.
Did I say Gallimore? Gilmore. My apologies.
He might be your defensive tackle.
Yeah. So it's I did just mention my defensive tackle, didn't I?
Yeah.
Cowboys
on my mind.
Cowboys on my mind. We'll get there later, y'all. But you gotta win now, and then it's just what are you gonna sacrifice? Because there's all things. That's why I just see him. I see him as a Redskin this offseason. I really do. You have the defense. You don't have to pay anybody fast. You may need to rebuild the offensive line, but you can. And you may need somebody on the opposite side of Scary Terry.
Yeah.
So,
I think so too.
The easiest piece, the easiest team to absorb Deshaun Watson and get it, because all you're doing is you get him over to the Patriots, and I'm sorry going off on a rant, but you're basically giving him the Texans back. A good defense, a way better coach. Just saying, the way better. But where is his weapons? 3 running backs?
Yeah,
that's it. Who's he throwing to? No.
Yeah, dude. With the Patriots, they reached for the N'Keal Harry out of Arizona State, and then past that, man, I don't even know who the hell he's throwing to, man. I don't know who's number 2 and number 3 on the Patriots roster right now. I couldn't tell you.
Edelman when he's healthy.
Bro, Edelman's a cheerleader at this point.
And then it's James White. It's Rex Burkhead out of the backfield. Flare him.
Take
your pick, bro, or run up the gut.
What happened to Sony Michel, right? Being a better back than Nick Chubb.
Wait, who?
Sony Michel, remember that? He was taken before Nick Chubb.
Well, Chubb's got the most perfect compliment running back ever.
Yeah.
And Kareem Hunt.
He has another number 1 in Kareem Hunt. By the way, Kareem Hunt's Senior Bowl week was amazing. I watched it live. I'm like, man, that's a great back right there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how many teams are in the Deshaun Watson,
it's less teams than the media is wanting it to be, logically, because I would say Miami, but I was just like, why are you going to throw away a first-round pick when you haven't given them that? You re-signed Fitzpatrick already. They've already re-signed Fitzpatrick.
And you still have Tua.
And you got Tua. Give him a wide receiver. He has nobody. Devontae Parker? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, Devontae Parker's a really good number 2 on a team.
Yes, but he's not your number 1. He ain't a world beater.
I think Tua might get himself a number 1, though.
That's what I'm saying.
He might. So, I mean, people are saying the Jags trade the number 1 overall pick for Deshaun Watson. Not happening. Not happening. Dude, I'm telling you here, bro. I'm in Florida right now. I'm in Jacksonville. People are walking around with Trevor Lawrence jerseys already. I went to the
Exactly.
mall. They're
Yes.
selling Trevor Lawrence jerseys and Jags.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah,
Everybody knows who's going first. It's Trevor Lawrence. He is the destined one that has been
yeah.
talked about
He's
since
the
he was
prodigal
a
son.
freshman. Yes, he had 2 bad football games, y'all. That's it.
Against really good teams, against NFL players. So,
And a lot of that, like the last game he had, wasn't really his fault. His wide receivers couldn't get open. His offensive line couldn't back. Travis Etienne wasn't really going. He was running
by
for
the
his
way,
life.
shows you how good Devontae Smith is. Because if Amari Rogers, who we couldn't get off his penis just like 15 minutes ago, Devontae Smith ate the same cornerback alive that was covering Amari Rogers. So
Right there, bro.
that's how good Devontae Smith is.
Yes.
So, yeah. So
enough of Deshaun Watson, y'all. But yeah, you just see like I see three teams, but really only actually 2, and that's I think Redskins are going to jump on that. I think Redskins are going to go very fast on that and see what they can do, because I think if they get Deshaun Watson, they're automatically the best in the NFC.
I think that a team that could make a push. I mean, I know I know the Texans might see him twice a year, but the Colts too. Colts are a quarterback needy team, and they have all the pieces, except for maybe a receiver, but they could always get another one. And you're getting Deshaun Watson. Like as long as he has, 2 number 2s, you're gonna be all right.
Well, do the Colts have that? I mean, I know they've got the defense. I mean, they could use one more wide receiver.
Yeah.
Offensive line's good. Their running back's good.
They could probably use. They could probably use. I think their left tackle just retired, so they're probably need a tackle in the draft. There's plenty of them. But yeah, I think that the Colts could probably make a push for Deshaun Watson if they wanted to. I don't see it because it's the same division, and that never happens. But that's also a team I could see making a push for it.
Good. I mean, because they have Brissett, right? They have Jacoby Brissett, he's a good backup.
He's
good
okay.
Backup. Yeah,
he's okay.
Good. I think he's a decent backup, but that's the thing. Do you go for Deshaun Watson, take that hit, or do you? Because you're going to either way, you're going to trade a king's ransom as the Colts. Mm-hmm. You're either going to take this massive contract, you're going to give a player, you're going to give 3 first-round picks for a guy that may get you to the playoffs, but will he beat Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, where are the Colts drafting this year?
Well, they were a playoff team. Wait, or did they just barely miss the playoffs?
Barely missed the playoffs.
They were like a 10-win team that missed the playoffs or something, right?
So let's see. They're picking number 21. Probably if you're picking at 21, man, you're probably getting a Mac Jones right there. That's available for you as a quarterback.
So a guy that we know on a stacked team looks really good.
Yeah. I mean, Mac Jones, I could see it. I could just see them staying put at 21 and getting Mac Jones at 21.
And again, and that's the thing. You get Mac Jones. Okay, he's not great in the first 4 or 5 years. All right, well,
I think he'd be good. I think he could be a good quarterback. Because the thing about, dude, for an NFL quarterback nowadays to transfer from college to the pros, especially one with that was in the Heisman hunt, and clearly threw I think 2 picks all year long. And by the way, the teams were raving on him in the Senior Bowl. I think that 21 makes sense if I'm the Colts and Mac Jones is right there. That's probably who I'm taking because that's what I need as a quarterback. And in the meantime, you're right. I have Jacoby Brissett if Mac Jones is not ready.
Exactly.
But if not, but more likely if I'm picking at 21, that's a first round QB. Mac Jones is my day one.
And the thing is as well, you're not losing really anybody serious.
Yeah.
In the next few years as the Colts. So you can develop Mac Jones and prepare him to go on a Super Bowl run. $40 million, man, that many draft picks, especially you could be like, hey, I could give you a first and a second. I can trade up to 10 and go get Trey Lance. Or I could go get Zach Wilson. Or I could go get another guy for somebody who may want to trade back.
Yeah.
So
and the Colts are not afraid to make trades on draft day. So or before.
exactly.
But it depends on what they do in free agency.
Mhm.
Honestly, at this point, we're clearly making conjectures, but I just don't see Deshaun Watson going. I mean, I don't see him going to the Colts just because how high the draft pick, how high the cost is going to be, and then not only that, they're in division. But other QB news, man. Anything else you want to cover?
One thing I want to bring up, and I just think it's so funny, is Arians the least talked about coach ever in Super Bowl history.
He's pretty good.
Well, no. And the reason why I say I'm not saying he's not pretty good. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, nobody even talks about him. Nobody's like, Bruce Arians is this phenomenal. No, it's all Tom Brady, all blah blah blah, all the time, all his team around him, and it's just like I just find it funny. I just wanted to throw that tidbit in. It's just like we're talking about is Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Andy Reid. Can he be as good as Belichick? One of the best ever. And then
literally, Bruce Arians got the Cardinals to the NFC Championship game back when Cam won. Cam went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Yeah, think about it, bro. I mean, that was Cam's MVP year where he couldn't be stopped. And more than likely, dude, Carson Palmer threw that game away with 5 picks. So I mean, Bruce Arians is a damn good coach.
I'm sorry, man. I know you're a Bengals fan, but I was like, that's so Carson Palmer, man. So good in the regular season and then playoffs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, trust me, dude. Now that was the year. That was the last time my Bengals were in the playoffs, 2015.
No,
bro, the last time I cried as a man. No, past that, I don't think there's anything else when it comes to QB talk right now, right? Nothing crazy.
Nothing. Let me see. I'm looking up right now, just to see. No, really, the one that stole it was Matt Stafford going. I think Goff is really smart. I think he knows what he is in the NFL now, and I think he's just going to go make his few millions last bit of a contract, and then he's just going to deuce. He's going to do a real Sam Bradford style.
He does, dude. Like Jared Goff never seemed to me like he's a dude that loves football, right? I've never got that vibe from him. It's just kind of like, I'm Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
I played for Cal.
Play for Cal. If not, I got a job waiting for me when I get out.
Bro, think about that. This dude grew up in California, went to Cal, played for the Rams in LA. Mm-hmm. Now he's going to Detroit. Enjoy.
Yep.
Yeah. So So onward and to the NFC talk, dude. Do you want to start off with your Cowboys?
We will start off with the Dallas Cowboys. So what's going on with that? Well, I know it's nothing new. The same old talk from last year. Does Dak Prescott get signed? My opinion, Dallas, you missed out. I think you really missed out. I think you missed out on Matt Stafford. I think you could have now that I see I was thinking that you missed out. I still think you may have missed out for just what Dak Prescott's going to demand, and because he's not a Super Bowl quarterback and he's a one playoff win quarterback, 40 million, 38 million, still really high. Yeah. So I still think you need to really see if you could talk to him and get him to take more of a team-friendly deal, maybe get him down to that 30, 32 million, still a little bit high. I think he's
happening.
Garoppolo money.
It ain't happening, dude.
It ain't going to happen. He's not going to go.
It ain't happening, dude.
And,
Dak ain't gonna. He's not gonna take anything less than 37 million. Not after what he saw this year. How Andy Dalton did decent, which you guys can still go that route. You guys aren't going to be, going contending for the Super Bowl, but he's all right. You could focus on building the team, but I mean, I just don't see Dak taking anything less than 37 mil at this point. And at that point, and dude, it kind of sucks because dude, salary cap is going to be $20 million less for every team, which kind of right now I'm thankful that my Bengals are so fucking cheap because we have so much extra cap because we're like, oh, I don't want to pay my players, so we have a lot of extra cap room.
Well, and that's the thing. You franchise tag Dak Prescott, that's a $37 million franchise tag. Straight out the bat. There's all your cap space. So your defense that you're wanting to re-sign, Chidobe Awuzie, I believe Brown, I don't believe not Anthony, Jordan Lewis. I think there's a few other defensive players. Well, sorry, man, you're not going to Alden Smith. You're not re-signing two cornerbacks and a defensive end that proved to be your best player at the beginning of the year. Pretty good. Probably has a little bit more of a ceiling. This is his first year back in 5 years. It's probably going to look a little bit better. 5-6 years. There goes your draft back. So you're going to. So the Dallas Cowboys, whether they franchise tag Dak or they sign him to a contract, their big whole thing is renegotiating contracts for some of their bigger players, maybe cutting offensive linemen, and then drafting heavy on the defensive sidelines. Defensive side, because Dan Quinn's going to want a whole new thing.
Well, dude, that's the thing about it, man. Dan Quinn ran around the same scheme as the black defensive.
Chris Richard.
The second Chris Richard. They ran almost the exact same scheme. I believe Chris Richard coached under Dan Quinn up in Seattle.
Yep.
So Chris Richard learned a lot of his principles. So I mean, and the players played pretty good under Chris Richard's mentorship, at least on the secondary side. But of course, you'd have Byron Jones playing cornerback then, though. So there's that.
Yep.
You guys,
big miss on that one.
Who do you guys see? Who do you see them drafting?
Man, it's got to be Surtain.
I think it's got to be right.
Surtain or Farley, who's ever there, who maybe has a better
combine, if they can do it, or pro day.
Yeah, or pro days. It's going to be a pro day. So it's really who you think is the best. I think that's who you're focused on. But look at the numbers, though.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Cowboys, typically in their first round, they go best player available most of the time, and they usually they might even go after a left tackle. Like if we're being honest, they might go after an offensive lineman. The Cowboys have not been scared.
Yes, picking at 9, right? Or 10? 10.
I believe 10. Mm-hmm.
10. So I mean, dude, Slater out of Northwestern looks really good at 10. He looks really good.
Yes, he does.
Dude, he went against Chase Young, didn't allow a sack. So that's great. That's just fantastic.
Which that shores up our line right there, as long as Leo Collins doesn't stay out of shape.
I don't think that Tyron Smith has a whole lot left in the tank, dude.
And it's an easy contract to cut. It really
let him walk, man. Dude, go with the younger first round tackle who has a lot of talent. Honestly, dude, and you never. So the thing is, my whole draft philosophy in the top 10, dude, I'm picking someone who throws the ball, who catches the ball, who goes and sacks the quarterback and protects the quarterback. There's no one besides that.
Zach Martin, one of the best guards probably to ever play the game of football.
Yeah,
we got him as a first round. Everybody's like, you could have got him in the second round. Well,
100%.
Did you know 100%? I don't know. I know a multi Pro Bowler until this season, pretty much. He was a Pro Bowler. I think he was a Pro Bowler every season.
All Pro.
Except this one.
All Pro.
All Pro.
Yeah. So, dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. Linemen, I'll never hate on a team for picking a lineman or trying to get their line good. You can never have too many good ones.
And my only thing, I was like, I think we're gonna have a pretty safe and boring and obvious draft for the Dallas Cowboys. The only thing is does Dak Prescott get signed? Do we give him a franchise tag? If that doesn't get done, we're coming for a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we'll give up a first and a 2. I think we'll trade up, and I think we very well could trade up to teams to go after maybe a Trey Lance, maybe if Justin Fields falls or Zach Wilson ends up falling, we might.
I mean,
go after
honestly,
them.
at 10, dude, I can see if you guys are still quarterback needy. I think Trey Lance will be there at 10.
And I mean,
granted, we just talked about it, man. I mean, in the second round, I think a Kyle Trask makes sense too.
Yeah, that's true. Or maybe Mac Jones finally get that quarterback Jerry Jones wants.
Yeah, I don't see Mac Jones dropping in the second round. Kyle Trask, like I said, he didn't help himself a whole lot. So I mean, if he's there at pick 42, something like that in the draft, I think that's probably where, if you guys do want a quarterback, you can just always get Kyle Trask if they're at 42.
That's true. Yeah.
Good.
That's pretty much it for the Dallas Cowboys. What will Mike McCarthy do for year 2? He's got a better defensive coach. Let's see what happens with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, so I think the next team that makes sense to talk about is probably Washington. They're probably the next most interesting team.
Of course.
For me personally.
Go ahead and take it.
First of all, what the hell is their team name going to be next year? Like, are they just going to be the football team?
Me and you, man, thinking the same thing, man.
Are they? I think that's probably one of the bigger things besides who the hell is the quarterback going to be. Football team is probably the bigger news to talk about. I mean, I mean, a lot of people are liking I believe Red Tails was talked about, or like Red Wolves or something like that. They want to keep the red in their moniker. They just didn't want to go Indian about it. I guess.
Well, I mean, you take away a team name that a lot of people found very offensive and very controversial, and you put it with a name, Red Tails, the Tuskegee Airmen, who went through a lot of issues, and went over a lot of social injustices to become some of the best fighter pilots we ever had in World War, and the World Wars, and you rename them that. So that's just a smart PR move.
They could also go like Sentinels or something like that, or the Senators or something like that. Your nation's capital.
The Sentinels are taken by the other Washington team.
Are they?
Yeah, I think they're. Yeah, I think so. Or they might be the Gladiators. I think they might be the Sentinels.
I don't know, but I think Senators sound decent too. I mean, they have a broad area where they could go. A lot of, like I was saying, in this last season, whenever they did change their name, I believe Red Tails was probably the most popular option. Just from what I was seeing on Twitter.
Yeah.
A lot of players and a lot of fans don't like that they're changing the name. Like every Washington fan that I know, like just personal, like dude, they still call them the Redskins, dude, and it's just kind of like. I get it. Like, dude, I don't know if I would, dude. If the Bengals change their name, it's like, I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, your mascot is an endangered species that were killed for thousands of years by humans and trafficking. That's offensive.
There's more Bengals in Texas than there are in the world.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a little more endangered.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like So I mean, how would you feel if Dallas changed the name of the Cowboys because the Cowboys hunted down Indians for centuries? It's just kind of like but fuck, dude, come on, like, do we have to take everything so seriously? That's what I'm getting from the people that are, mad about the name changing, which I can see it from both sides.
You can see it from both sides, and you also got to think that it's just something you're so used to saying. The Dallas Cowboys.
Well,
like I remember when the Texans went to, first of all, when the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee, and then the Houston Texans were about to come back in 2001, 2002, the ownership group of the Tennessee Titans would not release the name of the Oilers. And it was just like, why not? And they were like, well, it holds a lot of property and everything. And it's just like, okay, well, I mean, it's just a name. You could have given that. And it was just like, it is just a name. So
you did rebrand, dude. You know, like, why would you want to keep the old brand? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. But that's what I liked about the old Cleveland Browns when they moved to Baltimore and became the Ravens. They left the Browns name in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right. It's just kind of like you do. I don't know. It's kind of weird that they would hold on to that. But
it is.
Yeah. So I mean, I get it from both sides. Like I said, like my friend Jeremiah literally, like, he's like, dude, I mean, I ordered myself a Redskins young jersey, the 99, and he's like, dude, it's kind of like weird to me. This is the last Redskins jersey I'll ever buy, you know, with the moniker. So I mean, I think that's probably one of the bigger talking points for the Washington football team going forward is what is their moniker or their mascot going to be going forward?
Oh, what's their man? I mean, I think you just do the most coolest thing ever. You put a airplane floaty around the guy's waist.
Yeah,
like an old like dog fighter, like a airplane painted red.
That would be funny. But yeah. So going forward, I mean, I think they got, like we just talked about it. They have their coach Ron Rivera, very good coach,
very good,
fantastic coach. Super Bowl. He got to the Super Bowl with Cam Newton, who we found out is not the most coachable player ever.
He is all about the brand.
He's all about the brand. A little less about the team, you know. But Ron Rivera, who's his quarterback going to be? Because they have pieces, man. They have Scary Terry. They still got a pretty good running back. They have a pretty good defensive line, very good defensive line. Pretty much all Alabama except the one Ohio State guy.
Which generational talent.
Yeah, generational talent. Like, dude, I mean, you could say the same. Hey, dude, Jonathan Allen's damn good. Deron Payne's damn good. Matt Ioannidis is damn good.
Crazy.
Yeah, very good. They have an Arkansas Razorback in the back, Cam Curl, who was the best rated rookie safety last year. So, I mean, going forward, their defense is going to be nasty. I think that they could probably use a little more corner help. But, you know, going forward, I think that besides all they need to figure out is maybe a complimentary receiver for Scary Terry. Maybe they can get a running back in the later rounds. Maybe I don't know. I think Michael Carter sounds good. Coming out of the Senior Bowl, from what I saw, fantastic player. And maybe dude, just figuring out who their quarterback is going to be for the future. Which you and I both like Deshaun Watson going there.
Yeah, we do. I mean, you still got Alex Smith. You could wait another year to see what quarterbacks roll out. You could take your shot. They have the 19th overall pick. Let's see, the 19th overall pick. So you're given that. You're probably given a player. I would say if you're Washington and you're trading to the Houston Texans, well, I mean, they're probably going to want an edge rusher since they're getting rid of J.J. Watt probably this season. So do you give them one of your monster defensive linemen? No, so you're just going to –
I think they could come off of Jonathan Allen. I think they could.
You think they could?
Jonathan Allen. He's still got, like, I think a year, 2 years before his contract. I believe. All right. Well, he's got 1 year before his contract, and then they can always get a 5th-year option because it's a first-round pick. But I think that they could give 2 first rounds and Jonathan Allen to the Texans, and he fits their scheme because they both run 3-4s.
And I mean, you're also already hearing the chatter. They went after Matt Stafford. They failed. Rams took that from them. Yep. Now they're exploring blockbuster deal. They're probably going to go after Deshaun Watson because, again, that's a game changer. And then You have your second. I mean, you probably give a first, a 2, and then another first round, and then a player for what? Maybe what? Who are you going to give them? Like, it's still just who are you going to give if they want a player? Or are you just going to unload picks, take your team you currently have, maybe try not to give up your second round pick this year so you can go grab one of those wide receivers and maybe try to get future 2022, 2023 picks and maybe a 3 and a 4. Maybe try to keep that number 2 because if you get Deshaun Watson, you get a number 2, you get a wide receiver. You hopefully try to pick up offensive linemen or sign maybe some veteran offensive linemen to help Deshaun Watson. You've got an okay run game. And yeah, man, I just think that's their just logical step, man. And I would get rid of Dan Snyder, but I doubt that guy's going to sell.
Can't do it. Wish we could.
And don't let him pick for you because apparently he was the Dwayne Haskins.
Do not.
He was
like, dude, you have scouts for a reason. Use your scouts.
You are not Jerry Jones. Don't pick your football team.
Dude, Jerry Jones shouldn't draft either. He should not. Dude, Steven's a much better draft manager than he is. Ever since Steven started taking over Yaz's draft, they've been good players.
They have. What's his name? Taco Charlton.
Yeah, that was a hard miss.
And we're on the fence about Leighton Vander Esch, not because he's not a good player, but because health
is big. But dude, honestly, man, like you saw that coming out of Boise, man. The way the dude would tackle is there's a reason why he wears that neck thing. It's because he used his head. He Ryan Shazier's it. Yeah, he did. Yeah. I mean,
if he gets hurt again, I don't see the Cowboys signing him to a long-term contract.
No.
Yeah. So I think he's a 1-year pick and he's out. So Washington, yes. I think they're going to go after Deshaun Watson. I think they're going to be the number 1 team going after him, and I think that's their priority. And if they get him,
I think it'd be pretty good. I think the NFC East. I mean, it'd be a lot more competitive. So I think we're good on Washington, right, man? I mean, pretty good. What do you want to hit? Eagles or Giants?
Well, let's go Giants. I think they're the easy. I think I mean, you know what? Maybe let's go the Eagles.
Yeah.
Because I think there's more to talk about on the Eagles than the Giants. I think the Giants are pretty.
Right now.
Yeah, they're pretty meh. They've got some key pieces they need to fix. They're a quicker talk than the Eagles are because the Eagles are a dumpster fire.
Yes, dude. Oh, Jesus, bro. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that they are a bigger dumpster fire 2 years out of the Super Bowl, and y'all are trash. Y'all are absolutely
You had everything you need, and you burnt it away.
Why did you get rid of Doug Peterson? Why? Just
dude.
You picked a quarterback who's declining over a Super Bowl winning head coach with Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Eagles fans. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So the Eagles, man, they are a dumpster fire right now. Eagles fans are not happy. That's why I wanted Adam on here so he give us a little bit more insight into it, but not going to happen tonight. So,
because I want to see where he is. The Giants are a trash.
No. We're talking about the Eagles. The Eagles are a dumpster fire.
Yes.
Eagles are dumpster fire.
Yes.
No. No. Dude, the Eagles, they just hired some random head coach that no one was talking about in the ether.
Sirianni.
Yeah, bro. He had the worst press conference. His first opening press conference, I couldn't even sit through it. He was like, and then we're gonna. It was even worse than the guy where he was like, we're gonna bite their knees and we get knocked down. We're gonna bite both their knees. This guy couldn't form a sentence, bro. Like it was bad, bro. I'm just like. You just fired or got rid of Doug Peterson, who was a logical coach, a coach under Andy Reid's own tutelage, and got you to a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback, and you got rid of him for this mumbling fool. Like,
Yes,
what are you doing, Eagles fans? Or sorry, Eagles
ownership.
organization.
It's just like, how could you not look? Even me, as a Dallas Cowboys fan, as much as I liked it, it's very simple what happened. You didn't draft a wide number 1 for Carson Wentz. Your offensive line got shredded. Your defense got shredded. Your best wide receiver can't stay healthy, and your second wide receiver couldn't stay healthy. Deshaun Jackson, Jalen Rager, Rager. Neither of them could stay healthy. Ertz is a former shell of himself. Dallas Goddard
You think
got
so?
hurt.
I think Ertz is still pretty good. I think Ertz is still. I think he's still got some years to play. Dallas Goddard, good player, but got hurt early in the season against the Bengals.
Yes.
After that, went on IR. They don't have a receiver.
No.
They picked Jalen Rager over over Justin Jefferson. I believe
they lost it. And just look at what Justin Jefferson did this year, man.
Killed it.
Wow.
Killed it. Was it like 1,500 yards, right? As a rookie?
Yes.
Bro, T. Higgins was damn near 1,000 yards.
Yes.
Whilst losing Joe Burrow halfway through the season. So,
I just don't get the appeal. Especially if you like Jalen Rager, he was probably going to be available in the second round.
Exactly he was probably going to be available in the second round for sure.
Maybe even third. Like you could have got
Brandon Ayuk looked better than him too. Out of Arizona State.
Which, man, I think they tried a lot of things. Man, they're just I love it because I think the Eagles are going to be bad for. I think they're going to be the team that the NFC East is going to beat up on.
Yeah, for a bit, dude, until they can get. Dude, if they can somehow revive Carson Wentz, he just looked like he was shook, dude. Like during the Bengals game, even, dude, against the Bengals, bro, he was horrible. He was butt cheeks, dude, not good. And it's just kind of like he was just making rest. He looked like me whenever I was disinterested in Madden. When I'm in a Madden game, I'm just like, oh, okay, A, okay, B. Oh, damn, it was a pick. Ugh. Or whatever. That's what it looked like. He looked like Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship game. Just apathetic.
The whole season. And then Jalen Hurts gets in there and just lights a fire under his team, starts winning some games, actually looks pretty good. He looks like the better quarterback.
So he didn't look like better. He didn't look better whenever Carson actually cared about football.
Yes.
I think Carson wants a better just natural QB talent, but Jalen Hurts did have a lot of heart. Went in there and put it all out there. And his team responded, to his vibes. And I think that Jalen Hurts is going to be a long-time starter for any team ever? No, but I think if you game plan around him, I think he can be all right. Because when I was seeing most of the games he was playing in was a lot of like bootleg rollouts, or it wasn't just him just reading the field,
So if I'm with a good team and I'm like, well, I don't want to get Deshaun Watson. Okay, so let's check this out. Hear me out. What if the Colts give them a pick for Jalen Hurts?
Or what if the Colts gave him a pick for Carson Wentz? And put Carson Wentz back with Frank Wright, his OC during Carson's MVP year. I think that makes way more sense.
Yes, that does. So but then again, it's just like, and he's a cheaper offload, by the way.
He is a cheaper offload. I believe Carson Wentz is only being paid like 32 or 33 million. And most of the contract is gone. So even then, it's even cheaper.
Yes,
all the guaranteed money is gone. So I mean, I think we could see Carson Wentz with the Colts, man.
But as a Colts, I've got to know, because there's a lot of things coming out of the Eagle locker room, a lot of hearsay, a lot of players coming out about who Carson Wentz is. Apparently, he's not this I'm a team player type guy. He's a guy that goes straight to ownership, like might be bad mouthing. He basically, a lot of people are saying he may have been the one responsible for Doug Peterson's firing. It's like it's either you or me, like him or me, like, and it's like I think there are other players that have played with him before that have come out and that have said like he has a really big ego. And the ownership protected his ego, and that's why they got rid of Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson, on the other thing, I think he brought in an offensive coordinator that was ready to go with Jalen Hurts and not Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
And that's why he got fired. That's what the ownership says. So again, you took, which again, 99% of the times you take the multi-million-dollar quarterback over the coach.
Yeah.
You just
All
got
right.
to.
I mean, it's so past that, dude. I mean, the Eagles the Eagles are an aging team, also.
Aging
Like,
team, injury.
what, dude? They brought back Peters, former Razorback tight end.
Yeah.
But dude, he's done. He has no legs left. The tires are gone. He's grinding rims on the ground.
Deshaun Jackson, old player.
Old player. He's like what, 34? Still fast. Still very fast.
Yes, very
But
fast.
He can't make it through 6 games a year. So
he can get you one deep ball.
One deep ball every 5 games. Don't worry.
He'll dust you.
Yeah. So past that, dude, they need receivers. They need offensive line. They need to figure out their quarterback situation. Defensive line's getting old. Brandon Graham, he's got maybe 1 or 2 prime years left. Fletcher Cox maybe has a year or 2 left of being in his prime. They have no secondary. Their secondary doesn't exist. It is just literally Swiss cheese.
They're literally like they just got to play it smart this draft, man. I think you got to.
They got to play it smart for the next 2 or 3 drafts.
3 drafts. There's going to be a lot of like risk, and you've really got to
There's going to be
out.
a lot of. Let's just say there's going to be a lot of Eagles memes over the next 2 or 3 years. Let's just say that it's going to be glory. Yeah.
Just gonna
it's gonna be good.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
My whole goal, if I'm not making the Super Bowl as a Dallas Cowboy fans, is just to beat the Eagles twice. That's it.
Okay. So I mean, past that, dude, is there anything else like Eagles related? Not much, right?
Not much. I mean, like we know,
they're coaching hire.
They might really be the next dumpster fire. We're talking about the next team with like 2 wins, and it's just like I don't even know. They might struggle to get 2 wins, man.
I mean, that puts them in place for a quarterback. So I mean, we can figure out there. All right, dude. So last but not least, let's go with Giants. Also, I just some scuttlebutt from what I was seeing on Twitter. Like, what if the Giants put a package together for Deshaun Watson, for Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, a first, and possibly 2 seconds? Is that too much?
I mean, my only thing is I understand why Saquon Barkley is there. This is his 3rd season in the NFL coming up, and every season he's hurt.
No, this was his 3rd season. He's going into his 4th.
He's going into his
contract year.
Either way, 3 years, hurt 3 times. Like
Daniel Jones can't hold on to a ball.
Daniel Jones, he's going to lose you more games than win. I still think it was a mistake to start him. I think you should have just let Colt McCoy run the rest of the season. Once he went out, I don't think you should have let him back. I think he had a better chance to win with Colt McCoy. Well, it didn't matter because the Eagles blew that up anyway.
Yeah.
So
but
that didn't matter.
Past that.
Yeah, past that.
I think I do like Deshaun Watson going to New York, though. I like him going to New York.
We need to get rid of Danny Turnover.
Yeah. So Danny turnovers and always hurt Barkley. A first and 2 seconds, man. I mean, I think that so get rid of Danny Turnover. We need to okay. We need to get a good pick on wide receiver in the draft. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah, definitely a number one.
Have y'all got rid of the Clapper yet?
No, Clapper's still on the staff,
Clapper's still there?
but honestly, like he wasn't bad. I mean, think about it. He didn't have a running back really, dude. He was making it happen with Goldman. I don't hate the Clapper as an OC. I don't. And I also like their head coach. Their players played for him. Honestly,
Well, Joe Judge seems like that. I mean, again, he comes from New England. He comes from system. He comes from this he seems like he's really relatable because he's also a younger coach. So I just feel like he really got into that locker room and really got the players to support his idea. Ingram needs to go.
Yeah, bro, he made a Pro Bowl. They put him in the Pro Bowl, dude.
Why? Over Schultz?
Don't know. Yeah.
Over Dalton Schultz?
Yes.
What a snub. That's a snub.
Yeah.
Like, Ingram had like 5 catches this season for over 20 yards.
Yeah.
Trust me, I had him on fantasy. He was not great.
I got rid of him. I drafted him, got rid of him after the second week. I'm like, no. I'll be having none of your business. So then they get rid of Ingram. He's just a big wide receiver. He's a wide receiver that can't get open.
Ingram's got to
block.
You could, but that's the issue, though. I didn't see any fantastic, other than Pitts. I didn't see any fantastic tight ends.
Not a lot. Not a lot of big tight ends in this. You're gonna get some like okay ones later in the second or third round. I mean, right now I think you keep Ingram just because he's got one more year because he's a first round pick. So I mean, you can always franchise tag him. It's only gonna be like around 10 mil in a franchise tag, but that doesn't affect your cap. It all goes just straight up because the salary. It's a franchise tag goes. It's straight principal. It's not taken out of the cap. I mean,
yeah, they signed Jonathan Harrison. Nothing really big.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm just looking at what the draft capital would be right now. Texans do it. They want 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 defensive starters at least. It's what the Texans would want.
No, ain't happening. That's too much.
You're not going to get 2 defensive starters. You know why you want 2 defensive starters? Because you don't have a defense. You don't have a football team anymore.
Yeah, you got rid of them. Thanks, Billy O.
Good job, Bill O'Brien.
Good job.
Great.
Good job. Yeah, no, I mean, but honestly, I like the direction. I mean, I feel like I say this every year, but I like the direction the Giants are going. They don't draft bad. They really don't.
No, they don't.
They draft pretty good. It's just Daniel Jones. Past Kyler Murray, there wasn't a lot of good quarterbacks in that draft. That just kind of sucks.
Okay, so they're saying, and I'm looking at fan side right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying Daniel Jones, Trabil Peppers, Lorenzo Carter.
Out of Georgia, right?
Yeah, out of Georgia. 2 first-round picks of 2021, 2022. And then the Giants give 2 second-round picks of 2021, 2023. And then you just get Deshaun Watson.
No, that's too damn much, man. That's crazy. Like you're giving away all those players and you're getting his contract.
You're not getting Patrick Mahomes. That's what you get for Patrick Mahomes.
No.
That's what you get for Patrick Mahomes.
Deshaun Watson's good, but that's way too much. That's insane.
Who's never even been to an AFC? Did he go to an AFC championship? No, he's never been to an AFC championship game.
No, he's a one and doneer.
Yeah.
He's Andy Dalton. He's Andy Dalton, dude. Andy Dalton's five playoffs, 5 losses. He's like 2 playoffs, 2 losses.
You give him a first. You give him 2 first, and you give him a third and a fourth. You don't give 2
Lorenzo Carter and Jabril Peppers are quality players. They're good players, and the Giants' defense was actually pretty good last year. Yes. That's way too much. Yeah, maybe Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley and a first I could probably see, but dude, that's way too much, dude. Ugh, gross.
So I
Um,
mean, then like I mean, you kind of need a little bit of everything. I mean, it couldn't hurt, which isn't necessarily the worst situation to be in. You just need a few plugins. I mean, quarterback is your main thing.
but this is a good year to be quarterback needy
Yes, it is.
and picking the top 10, which I believe where the Giants are picking at 9, right? Something like that, or 8.
Let's see here.
Giants are picking
Because they're like right. I think they might be right behind the Dallas Cowboys. I want to say.
I think they're right before, aren't they?
Are they before? They're right behind the Dallas Cowboys.
So they pick at 11.
Just pick at 11.
So and
Cowboys
at the very
aren't
least,
going to like sabotage your draft. They're not going to pick CD Lamb so you don't and make you freak out. And the Giants organization won't freak out. I mean, you're picking at 11.
Honestly, if they could get like I mean, this is a very good year to be quarterback needy in general. In free agency, there's so many. Just going to be in free agency alone, right? So making a play at any of those free agent movers.
So would you make
help
a play for Aaron Rodgers
for the Giants?
Yeah, just short car drive for him. Would you take that and then with your 11th overall pick, try to go get wide receivers? Because
you're gonna have to trade. You're gonna have to trade the Packers for Aaron Rodgers, and that's gonna take quite a bit also.
That's also gonna take. So
yeah, I think it might take at least 2 first rounds to get Aaron Rodgers from the Packers.
So then would you maybe go after – because let's not even talk about that because, okay, maybe the Giants were a little bit –
If the Giants do go after Aaron Rodgers, I think that you give the Packers two first-round picks and possibly a third, and then in free agency you go after Allen Robinson or was it Curtis Samuel from the Panthers in free agency. That's what I see. And possibly get a Taylor Moton from also the Panthers. That's what I'm doing.
Rodgers, you have a Saquon Barkley. You have I would say about on the level of his offensive line is.
Yeah.
Yep. About the same offensive line, healthier, I would say. And then you get about any given day, maybe a better defense than Green Bay, maybe a worse defense. They're pretty much on the same.
No, they're both good defenses. So I think an Aaron Rodgers going to the Giants would make a lot of sense.
Man,
that'd be a huge.
It could make a lot more, and it's cheaper too than Deshaun Watson, and it requires less, and you're not just taking the next 3 draft years.
I think you'd also probably have to get the Packers Daniel Jones too, to like battle it out with Jordan Love.
You mean could you imagine that? Daniel Jones rise up and he's like, a new day, and they were like, well, hey, we just cut you. And he's like, I haven't even got in the building.
Yeah, you're a backup now.
Yeah. You might be our backup.
Yeah, so I mean, the Giants are still a big question mark. I don't hate them as an organization or a team just yet. But like I said, every year I feel like I'm saying like I kind of believe in the Giants, not just because my wife's a Giants fan, which all love, no hate, but it's kind of like every year I'm like, man, like what are they doing? Like they got good players, they do. Possibly what they need an edge rusher. They need another edge rusher to complement Lorenzo. Lorenzo out of Georgia. Mm-hmm. But past that, I mean, the Giants are.
Where do you get your edge rusher? Because it's clear. I mean, I know you got Slayton, but it's clear you need a number one. You do need a number one wide receiver. I think
Darius Slayton's a pretty good. I think he can be a serviceable number one, like we were saying. Yeah. But I just think he needs. I think an Allen Robinson's a true number one out of the Bears.
So you would go more for the Giants instead of drafting your wide receivers. You'd go more for the mature wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and then go get that edge rusher.
you already have a young wide receiver in Slayton, and you could always go get Allen Robinson out of the Bears, who's still pretty young. Believe he's like 27, 28 right now. So you got him for the next couple of years until you can get a young number one.
Well, now here's my thing. So if you're Giants, you're looking for Kwity Paye, right? You're looking for Kwity Paye or Rousseau. They would most likely be available.
If we can't get Aaron Rodgers, then yeah, I'm probably going edge.
So
I'm going edge or for Sean Slater out of Northwestern's there. I'm taking that.
Let's see. One thing I want to check out right now,
or possibly Farley, the cornerback out of Virginia.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, again, there's a lot of needs, but it's really difficult when there's a lot of pieces that you need, but you're still a good team. Yeah. You're still a pretty good team.
So you have good problems to have. That's what it is.
Yes, exactly. Which this is why I think it's just the NFC East is just they really as a whole, they're there kind of getting back to, oh man, we got to go play the NFC East again. Man, they're a tough conference to what they were as the worst conference in history. Yeah. Like they're just like this draft.
Right now you guys are the NFC least, dude. You have the worst conference in football.
For 3 teams. Right, and you know what's we started off that year, but then the Cowboys beat quality teams.
Yeah.
The Giants beat quality teams. The Redskins actually looked pretty freaking good when Alex Smith and
football team.
The football team looked pretty good. The one thing I'm looking at right now is the cap space. Okay, so I'm looking at the cap space right now, and this is the difficult part right here. $3 million
for
right
who?
now.
The Giants?
That's it. You are close to cap hell right now.
For the Giants.
For the Giants. That's what I'm reading as of right now.
Who are we paying?
Well, your defense is taking $72 million, and your offense, that's the key. I think it's that offensive line. It's 110.
Is their left tackle that they signed still there? Is Nate Soldier?
Yeah.
Soldier?
He's
going to be out of there. That's another like that's another.
He was a $65 million, right? I think he was.
He'll be cut. He'll be a cash casualty.
But,
for sure.
But that's Giants first. So that's the whole issue right there. Can you get the cap space to get Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers before the Redskins go get Deshaun Watson?
No,
because I think the Redskins have. Let me see here.
They have quite a bit. No.
Yeah. Sorry, the football team. My apologies. See, even I'm having difficulties because I called them that my entire life. Like they're 35 mil.
Yeah, they got space.
They got space. They can negotiate that.
I think the Bengals are going to have close to 55 to 60 million, dude, in free agency. I can't wait.
You trade Joe Burrow.
Get out of here. Get out of here. No,
you trade for a quarterback that can win down.
I will. Okay, I'm kicking you out.
Yo, I'm getting kicked out. Guys, it's been fun. This is the roar. I'm getting kicked out.
I'll do it by myself. No, these are fun, dude. But yeah. So I mean, I think the Giants are going to be all right. I think that they'll get rid of this place because I believe Marcus Golden was also there too. He's going to be gone. They haven't. I don't think they paid Jabril Peppers yet, but they still got to do that. Yeah. But I mean, the Giants are just kind of like one of those teams where they're good, but they can improve, but they're not like, they're not bottom of the barrel right now.
They were a team. They're not the Eagles. They were a team had Daniel Jones throwing 3 less picks. They would have been playing the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
really. That's what it comes down to.
Well, if
the Saquon Barkley.
If the Eagles didn't lose on purpose, they would have won.
Yes, which may be another reason why I personally think that they got rid of Doug Peterson too, is because when you tank on national television and everybody knows you tanked, I'd get rid of that coach to avoid any
Apparently, the Rams try to trade for Aaron Rodgers real quick. The Rams tried to trade for Aaron Rodgers before acquiring Matt Stafford, but the Packers refused. So
then it's all hearsay out of Green Bay. Because if I'm Green Bay and you're offering, well, it depends. Also, it
could be a money thing too.
They would have been offering more, right?
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers is trying to get paid more. Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers is asking for a bigger contract. Yeah, Packers star Aaron Rodgers simply refused to entertain the idea. They wanted an upgrade from Jared Goff. So who knows? But yeah, back to the NFC East, dude. There's a lot of holes to be fixed, dude. A lot of holes.
It's just there are 3 teams with good problems to have, and then there's a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
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 I think it's good news for any NFC East fan. I think we're going to see a completely different NFC East next year, barring free agency, barring.
It honestly, with the Cowboys, it depends on whether you sign Dak and whether or not you can protect Dak.
Yes,
I think Dak he needs an offensive line. He absolutely does. And Ezekiel Elliott
needs an offensive line.
He needs an offensive line.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I think I'm good. Did you good?
I'm good, man. Good talk.
All right. Well, guys, I think that's the last of it for us. We appreciate you watching. All the comments. Appreciate that. Always a good time to have talk. I love talking football. Jordan loves talking football, and we love talking football here on The Roar. If you could, please like, subscribe, share it, comment, all that stuff. It helps out. Like the Facebook page, like the YouTube, subscribe to us. Everything helps us grow, and the content's only going to get better from here.
Yes.
Jordan, you have anything to say, brother?
Man, like, subscribe. We're going to be here every week. Again, so much more to talk about, so much more draft, so much more free agency, guys. We love when y'all comment. We like that back and forth with y'all. Like, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube. We're here. We're ready to talk.
All right. Appreciate that. I think next week, dude, you want to talk a little AFC North?
AFC North is fine, man. Awesome. I got no problem, man. Let's do it.
You know what? I think that we should probably do AFC South since we're gonna have the Texans guys on.
That's true. Let's do that because that would be a fun one to talk about.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun talk. So next week we're gonna have on the Texans podcast, our Lone Star podcast, Texans oriented podcast to talk about the dumpster fire that is the organization of the Texans right now. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Peace.